Hello everybody, my name is Yuri and I'm CTO and co-founder of company AcuPower, and today I want to share some observations which is based by biography of Isaac Newton. He said very interesting statement: if I have some father, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants. And I want to share with you how some companies in automotive industry and in electronics follow this principle. So let's start from two companies whom I know most. It is BMW and Toyota. Like I personally own, or I would say use, two cars. And what I noticed, BMW and Toyota, despite being brilliant companies, but for example, for wheels, they use Michelin, Continental, or Pirelli. For electronics, they use Hella, Valeo, or Koito. And for brake industry, they use Brembo, ZF, Friedrichshafen, or Akebono brake industry. The question: why? Why can't those companies produce by themselves tires, or can they produce by themselves electronics, or can they produce by themselves brakes? Are they not giants enough? No, of course not, they can. But why to manufacture something that, let's say, already another giant already put a lot of effort? And let me give you another example. This is two hardly competitive companies, Samsung and iOS. I don't know how about you, but I've seen plenty of articles which describe how Samsung and Apple fight with each other in the court, how they judge from each other millions or tens of millions of dollars. So they seems to be tough competitors. And in order to show how tough they are, I made some kind of image. You see, like kind of they fight with each other severely. But it's interesting that Apple, despite being competitor of Samsung, they use memory chips, display panels of Samsung. And that's not not all things which Apple uses from Samsung. So what you can see from this biggest achievements, or let's say a couple of companies who are by all means not small, they use shoulders or achievements of each other. And from this standpoint, I want to mention why I consider Acumatica ERP to be the company which also stands on at least two giants. Giant number one is basically C#. Giant number two is SQL Server. I don't specifically mention which exactly SQL Server, because Acumatica mostly it uses MS SQL, but it also can work on MySQL or MariaDB. And why I'm specifically fond of C#, because C# team of Microsoft has around 500 people. Why it is important, or why it is important for developer? Let's imagine that you are a developer and you have a choice to join a team which will produce compiler of programming language which will be used by millions of developers, or you have a choice to join a team which makes programming language which will be used by thousands. How do you think which team will have tougher competition, which team will have higher bars, and which team will attract more talent? Something that is used by small amount of people, or something that is used by millions? Or I would rather put, if you have a choice, which team you join? Something that produces something for millions, or something that produces something for thousands? Granted that salary will be more or less the same. I believe a lot of people, of course not everybody, but a lot of people, they will choose to join something that helps millions. That is specifically C# team, and this is not official information, but basically C# is developed by a team of 500 people. So you can imagine how tested it is and how well founded it is. And another giant, which I put here, is MS SQL. And when I say MS SQL has around 700 people, I don't mean that only 700 people uses it, but there are 700 developers which develop that specific language. And again, this product is on the market for quite a while. It does only one thing, relational database storage, and it does it really well. And recently, or relatively recently, Acumatica started to use MySQL and MariaDB. So, if to sum up, what I especially like in Acumatica, that they use very strong language, C#, which like almost every year new version appears, and it uses MS SQL or MySQL, and again, every year both of those tools, they get pretty good development. And for now, I thought about adding one more giant, but third giant on which Acumatica is based, it will be added later. Thanks for listening, and if you like these thoughts or you want to dispute them, hit like button or share.